It's Madden NFL 23. And coming up, we'll see the dynamic Alvin Kamara. He was steady for them on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Saints and the Caps, and it's coming up next.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans.
Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Columbus Caps and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Columbus club, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Taking it about the 1.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is picked up by the defense. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field and see if they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. A 2-yard gain. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. He'll drop to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3.
So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 14 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
On 2nd and 7, Winston finding Taysom Hill complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
A beautiful fake. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. On 2nd down, Kamara. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this one is no good. He missed it. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. They juked him.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 32. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide is a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Now the extra point try forthcoming. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get the game moving. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jameis to throw it.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here in this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first-quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd and 12, Winston.
There's Chris Olave.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Now Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
And he is going to have a Saints first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Now Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Winston. His throw incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Winston now. This is Smith with a grab.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line. That's the end.
17-0 our score after one.
Saints nothing.
Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 11. To throw is Winston. Complete to Olave on the out route. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Kamara up the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Steps away. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jameis Winston, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fields it right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one. And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The 3rd down conversion successful, a gain of 11.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Taken down by Pete Werner. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Winston. The pass caught by Olave. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. A 3-yard pickup.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Winston. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
It's a gain of 8. And the Saints first and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Jameis now on 1st down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 27. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Winston. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And as a result, possession switches hands. So an interesting decision at this stage of the game to go for it. You think maybe that missed field goal earlier had anything to do with it?
If it did, I'm really surprised, because usually one miss is not enough to alter your game plan. My only thought is maybe he got hurt, or maybe they just understand that it's not his day for some other reason we don't know right now. But in general situations, you run him back out there and let him have another chance.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And on now is the punter. Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. A 2nd down throw for Winston. And it's caught. The tight end Hill.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete there to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Winston's throw caught by his receiver Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And this one complete to Smith.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First down now, but that clock rolling. And now Winston wants to talk this one over as they'll take a timeout. As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Here's Winston. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll begin out in Houston, and that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the 2nd quarter. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Chris Godwin, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Kendrick Bourne, a touchdown reception. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Saints, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the 3rd quarter.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going right side here, and that's complete. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 2nd and 1. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
2nd and 11. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And taken right on the 30. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll look to throw here. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And his kick here is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Winston. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd.
On 3rd down, Winston. Pressure comes and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Oh, able to avoid him. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a 1st down. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Winston to Thomas there for the Saints 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jameis to throw it. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Off the play fake, Winston. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Now they'll run on the draw. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. They'll drop to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Caps add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. To throw, Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
Jameis again. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 11.
From the gun, Winston. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Intended for Taysom Hill. Incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And, oh, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
Intercepted. They'll take over 1st and
All
10.
smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Caps are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The New Orleans offense set to take over. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw is Winston.
That's Olave bringing in another one.
Winston's pass complete to Chris Olave. A gain of 5.
They'll throw again. Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. 4th down, Winston. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for our visitors, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.